I love the way these white folks are learning history. And they are learning history the hard way. You know, sometimes you will not understand what people are going through until you literally fit into their shoes, carry their shoes, or carry their burdens. Then you will now sit down and realize that, geez, is this literally what these people are going through? So, story time. White people want to actually test the suffering. They want to test it. And they finally get to test it. And now, this is what they are saying. I want you to watch this video. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. My name is Sonia. For a lot of you guys that have asked, what is your name? Sonia is my name, right? Anyways, with that being said, let's dive right into this. I stand a chance to be corrected, please, for educational purposes only. Let's go and watch what they are testing and how they are getting whooped.
Welcome to America. Tell me what you're thinking.
Just so much.
Kleenexes, please.
I've always been interested in history and the history of black people. I took Afrocentric classes at U of L. My grandma lived at 2821 West Kentucky Street. I've read so many books, and now I belong to a church that's primarily African American, and I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Beautiful. Thank you.
They would breed our women and force them to have C-sections without fucking anesthesia. And the breeding farms, y'all, they didn't go away after slavery was abolished. It still happened. If you look into the father of gynecology, that man literally said black people don't experience pain. Therefore, he would not give the women any anesthesia to give birth, even when it came down to having a fucking C-section, bro. And as somebody who had a C-section and almost died, this shit just brought me to tears. Women were forced to be sleeping with over 100 men in one day. 100 men. And if they weren't to get pregnant, they would get beat. They would get literally limbs removed. They would be tortured. And this happened to men too. Breeding farms, you guys. Breeding farms. When I say The Handmaid's Tale, it started with us. This book, Black AF History, this is the stuff they don't teach you in schools. This is the stuff they don't tell you about in schools, because this is America unwhitewashed. One black slave was forced to breed over 200 children. One white slave owner had over 600 children by slaves. 600. And once they would have the baby, they were forced to go back in the field. And either the baby would be given away, taken away. And that's how the whole adoption process started. The adoption process has been shady since the beginning, because a lot of times it started with taking away slave babies that were the offspring of the master and the slave, because he didn't want his wife to find out that he was sleeping with the slaves. It's a lot of dark shit that went on in the fucking history of this country, and more people need to fucking know about it. When I tell y'all, everybody needs to get this book. Everybody needs to get this book. Read it. I don't care if you get it from the library. I don't care where you get it from. You need to read it and understand that this is the history of America, and it literally has nothing much has changed.
Were left to fend for themselves. Jerome, how old are you?
9.
9. Do you go to school?
Yes.
Where do you go to school, Jerome?
At the old Children Elementary School.
I see. What is your sister's name?
Lois.
That's Lois. And what are your other sisters' names?
Jacqueline. and Beulah.
Catherine and Beulah. What happened to your foot, Jerome?
Dig a nail in out there by the wash house.
So you drove a nail in out by the wash house. What did your mother do for that?
With some alcohol on it.
Where do you sleep, Jerome?
In his bed.
You have this big bed?
Yes.
What happened? How did you get that hole in that bed there, Jerome?
The rats.
The what?
Rats.
Now, Jerome, you are taking care of Kathy, of Beulah, and Lois.
Yes.
Now, are you going to give them lunch today?
Yes.
What are you going to feed them?
I don't know.
Do you have any food here to give them?
Yes.
Let's see. What time does your mother come home?
I don't know.
The following day, Aline King, the mother of Jerome, Kathy, Lois, and Beulah, again was picking beans. Aileen King, I saw your children yesterday at the Okeechobee camp. Why didn't you put them in the nursery?
Don't make enough to pay for it.
How much does it cost to put them in?
85 cents.
85 cents.
That's right.
Aileen, what time did you come out the field this morning?
6 o'clock.
What time would you get home?
About 3:30, 4 o'clock.
6 this morning to 4 o'clock this afternoon.
That's right.
How much did you earn?
$1.
$1?
That's right. $1.
Is that because the beans were of poor quality?
That's right.
Has this happened before?
That's right.
How much will your food cost you today?
About $2.
Aileen, how old are you?
29.
How many children do you have?
14.
How old were you when you first started working in the fields?
8.
You've been working 21 years in the field?
That's right.
Aileen, do you ever think you...
That was just on. Bro, why so heavy? Look at my hand. Trying to hold this up, bro. 18 hours every day.
This is light chain. Light chain is used for children or babies. They have to put this iron brand into fire. When it's very hot, the pierce their leak.
The lip?
Yeah. So while they fix this, I use a small padlock to hook it up for them not to be able to eat while working in sugarcane plantation or to communicate whenever they are working.
The whites don't even see you as American. They see you as second-class citizen from Africa. This is why they call you African American. The difference between black Americans and Africans is we don't give a fuck about what white people see us as or what white people think. We do not care. We don't worship whiteness. Not in 2025. When they threatened us with segregation, majority of us said, bring it on. We don't give a damn. We're not walking up to them. White people care about black people in America way more than we care about them. We're not trying to get invited to their cookouts. We're not trying to force ourselves in their spaces. Not in 2025. That's not what's happening. White people are constantly minding our business and coming up to us and asking us questions and wanting to be included and wanting to be invited and wanting to know what we got going on. Have you ever seen Karen videos? White women, they be obsessed. Obsessed. Utterly obsessed. We do not worship white people like y'all. A lot of y'all uphold white superiority. You ever want to see what leave it up to one of y'all. We don't do that bootlicking shit over here. We don't care what they think or what they consider us. We know what's on our birth certificates. I know what it says on my passport. I know where my lineage comes from. I know where my ancestors come from. It's a psychological mind trick to think that white people are fucking superior to you. There ain't no motherfucking white person superior to me. That hatred, that shit is love. Love and hate lives on the same spectrum. They love us so fucking much. They're so obsessed that it brewed into hate. A lot of it is envy, jealousy, admiration, inferiority. Not all. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. The fuck?
They used our skin to make shoes. This picture is a pair of shoes that were made from black African slaves' skin. My ancestors' skin. If you wonder why things keep happening at fucking Lake Lanier, this is why my ancestors are disturbed. They used black people's skin to make shoes, purses, this chair, this coat that a white man is wearing. They used our skin to make it and profited off of it. This book, Black AF History, right now is on sale in the TikTok shop. Every American needs to get, when I say every American needs to get this book. The unwhitewashed story of America. They turned our skin into leather goods, slippers, cigar cases, jackets from human skin. This is the truth. In Philadelphia, a doctor made shoes from black skin. This is history. This isn't made up. This happened all over the country, not just there. They made us into accessories, earrings, purses, handbags. They tried to bury this. They're trying to ban these kind of books. Like I said, get this off the TikTok shop. Right now it's 35% off. It's usually way more than that. Get you a copy. Get your friend a copy. Get everyone in your family a copy. Everyone needs to educate themselves on Black history, which is American history.
I can't do it for 1 minute. You want to feel the weight of change? Oh my God. You feel the weight of change?
I often forget about this part of the slave trade, the part that started in Africa. Getting captured from your village, being barefoot, naked, and chained, walking for hundreds of miles with almost no food, the last bath, the horrors of the slave dungeon, the ships. When I imagine their suffering, it hurts me to my core. For a span of 400 years, our ancestors endured hell. We honor those who died and give thanks to those who survived so we might live.
I am trying to get real with myself and with other white people, and it is painful work. There's a whole lot of blame toward black people for being the cause of how white people treat them, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of that. I decided to take a closer look at slavery, since that's such a big topic in the United States. There has been slavery all over the world forever, and all colors of people have enslaved other colors of people for as long as we know about. But the transatlantic slave trade, in which Europeans brought African and Caribbean black people to the United States to be free labor in the new colonies before they were really the United States, is a whole different story of slavery. Slavery historically had to do with who won and who lost a war, who was convenient, who stumbled by at the wrong time, and so it wasn't specifically race-based. So why did these white Europeans choose black people to enslave? Because their physical differences from whites made it easier to create lies that they were biologically inferior. They invented science to defend this. It was easier to make these people who looked so different from us less human. And that lie made it easier to justify torture, rape, family separation, and death on a massive scale. And it made them, quite frankly, easier to identify if they tried to escape. The legacy didn't disappear when slavery ended. Eugenics came along and fed the racial superiority notion of whiteness, and it influenced the Nazi narrative along with the racial one. It carried over into segregation, Jim Crow, housing, policing, incarceration, education, all of that. If we're ever going to fix what's broken, we need to get curious enough to name how it got broken in the first place. White people need to get curious so we can say no more, not on my watch.
I'm sorry, are you trying to say that blacks thrive under subjugation?
No, I'm not. I'm saying I'm asking you the question. The data shows they were actually better in the 1940s. They committed less crimes.
Maybe they were afraid.
Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity?
In the South, you're not a child at 15. You can go to jail, you can get beaten up.
To keep the white and the black separate. You told us we were free. Well, then show us that we're free. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
The louder she screamed, the harder he whipped, and where the blood ran fastest, there he whipped longest, and their bodies exhausted. Failure to meet these quotas often resulted in severe punishments, such as whippings, beatings, or even mutilation. Their clothing consisted of 2 coarse linen shirts per year. Sojourner Truth famously declared, "I have borne 13 children, and seen most all sold off to slavery, and when I cried out with my mother's grief, none but Jesus heard me." The allowance of each slave per week was a peck of corn and 3 or 4 pounds of pork.
She was sick on the floor. I don't care. And I think of today, I don't know how I'm living.
Black men regularly were sexually exploited by both white men and white women, which took a variety of forms, including outright physical penetrative assault, forced reproduction, sexual coercion and manipulation, and psychic abuse.
This is the history they want us to forget. This is a thing that they literally sat down and be like, it's a thing of the past. Move on. Move on that a black woman have to work all her acts out for $1. Move on that some black children are not being taught the history that they are supposed to be taught. Move on that black people work all day night but can't even feed their family. Now some of these white folks understand what black people go through, and this is why reparations will definitely and must be given to black people. Because if you check all of this, do not even sit down there and say it is a thing of the past. It is the thing that is still hurting us due now in the present. A video circulated where you literally see a black woman picking beans, old black woman. And when this black man wants to go comfort this white man zoomed off and drove off. So tell me that slavery is not still involved in today's episode. Tell me that black people should just keep quiet and keep enduring till they die. How many of their generations will they keeping quiet too? You know, you will not understand what black people are passing through, especially black Americans, until you actually get to wear their shoes. That chain that was literally put in that woman's hands in the first clip that I actually played for you guys, those are the kind of chains that they do put in the hands of our forefathers for slavery. Put in their hands, stuck in their mouth, and padlock their mouth, and they still want them to walk. All in the name of they do not literally want them to have something good about. And you sit there as a white folks and you said that black people do not deserve reparation, you are wicked. I did some of my research as well, and here is what I got from my research. And most of this research will carry on specifically why this reparation has literally been denied and so on and so forth. And the number one reason I have here is economic and political resistance. Reparation means government acknowledging that slavery and racism cause measurable harms, and that these harms have financial values. Many politician leaders, especially in the US and Europe, resist this because it could cost trillions of dollars if done seriously. And secondly, the fear it would open the door to more compensation claim from other groups. And third, some believe the issue is in the past and don't want to face the moral responsibility. This is what they are literally holding hands into. The second one is denial of responsibility. Some people, especially descendants of those who benefited from slavery, said things like, I don't own slaves, so why should I pay? That is the Charlie Kirk's regime. This ignore the fact that societies, institutions, and wealth were built through slavery and segregation and still benefit many white people today. Racism and fear of equality. There is also a deep-rooted fear among some people, some white people, that reparation will mean acknowledging black people's full humanity and the truth about history. That kind of truth-telling threats the idea of white superiority that is being built up for centuries. 4 is lack of political unity and global coordination. Different black community in the US, the Caribbean, the Africa, the Europe have different history and legal system. This makes a single reparation program complicated. Some efforts are happening, for example, CARICOM Reparation Commission in the Caribbean, but global agreement is still far away. Efforts are growing but slow. Even though no major governments have paid full reparation yet, there are movements pushing for them. HR 40 in the US Congress would create a commission to study reparation though it's been stirred for decades. Caribbean nations are demanding reparation for former European colonizers like Britain and France. Local US cities like Everton, Illinois sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, have started small reparation program focused on housing and education. As far as I'm concerned, reparations should be given. Because now you're seeing reparation as something that is hard, but their enslavers have been settled. And the enslavers not been given reparation. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section. Credit belongs to original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. And guys, with no further ado, I'm going to be saying bye now. See you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah.